Tell Me About It is brought to you by Don Franklin Auto of Glasgow, Extreme Health Club, and Lockshield Partners Accounting Services.
Trevent Hayes, KY Sports TV. In our absence today is James Brown, 104 The Score, Glasgow Electric Plant Board Channel 6, the local channel. Glad to be back. Not been able to be with you guys for a few weeks due to other obligations, but I am back in full effect today, and I have brought some very special guests today. Our first guest is the new girls varsity and middle school softball coach, Peter Distefano.
Good to meet you.
Good to be here with you, Peter. He said good to meet you. I've known Peter for a long time.
We've known each other for a while.
Really good guy, really good coach. Coach Distefano, how long has it been since you've actually been in the coaching field?
Well, 2 years ago I coached Greene County's boys basketball, but softball it's been maybe 3 or 4 years.
Okay. Pretty decorated coach.
I don't know about that.
I mean, you can be honest.
I've had good kids, and I've had good assistant coaches, and I've had good teams.
Okay. You started off coaching softball at LaRue.
Well, actually, I coached slow pitch at Greene, and we won a regional title there.
Slow pitch?
Yeah,
Was that in like the 70s?
Way back. That was the white ball. You could have a green dot, a red dot,
and
a blue dot.
Yeah.
And then went over to LaRue and coached girls basketball there and softball for 14 years, and started their fast pitch program. They were still slow when I went over there, and we started fast pitch, and we had some really good teams. I had a good assistant. My sister was my assistant. We went to the state in 1996 and 2005, I believe it was, or 2003. I don't remember which one it was. She went once too, so it might have been her year. But had some really good kids, and they loved fast pitch over there. And then I went to Metcalf, coached the girls basketball team, and kind of backed into softball when I was there, and we had 4 20-win seasons. The program hadn't won 20 games. I don't know if they won 10 games. We did that, won some district championships, won 4 district championships, won our first regional game ever back in, I think it was 2011, and boy, did I have some good kids there too. Didn't start that way, but once they learned how to play the game, and good pitching, finally, some good defense, and everywhere I've been, I've had some good kids, and that's the key, is having good kids that want to work, kids don't mind being coached, and obviously when you go into different programs that have been established for a while, you tend to see they have their own habits, and I'm not a habit kind of guy. I'm more of a slapper, steal, hit and run, and I have a good pitcher and play some good defense and stop the other team from scoring. And usually that's enough.
Well, Coach, we've got our other guests are the new volleyball coach and baseball coach, and I myself I'm the new football coach.
Well,
so you're well, thank you. So coming to Caverna, you're already faced with a few challenges. As I've said so many times on the show, Caverna is kind of the black sheep in this area. And not only in this area, in the district and in the region, but Caverna, usually the way I figured it out over the last 30 years, about every 5 to 6 years, a special group of kids come through, whether it be the boys group or the girls group. How are you going to deal with some of the challenges that you're going to be faced with coming to Caverna?
Well, when I was at LaRue, they really hadn't won anything in anything. I took over the basketball program. They were 0-51 when I took over, and that took some work. And the softball team hadn't won 5 or 6 games every year. We used to play them first round of the district when I was in Greene, and that game was over in like 15 minutes. And actually, the year I went to LaRue, we beat them after the year I took them to the state. In, I don't remember what year, 1999 maybe, 98, something like that. We turned around, knocked them out of the district tournament. They were defending region champs, and LaRue beat them. So, the challenges are the same everywhere. I think kids are kids, Kids want to win. And when you've been beaten up, the way the three-school Metcalf was the same way, when you've been beaten up the way you've been beaten up and taken advantage of by other schools, I think the kids just want a chance to prove that they're as good as everybody else. And you can't treat them any differently. I mean, I'm going to treat mine just as good or better than the other schools treat theirs. But I think that you have to come in and let them know you care about them first, and then you got to start teaching them some skill. And we're going to, unfortunately, I'm the middle school coach too, so I've already got on Facebook and things like that, and we have tryouts next week for middle school, and I've already contacted some girls softball players at the high school and going to give them some slapping lessons and some hitting lessons and some pitching lessons and just stuff like that. And the kids, some of them have been real receptive, some of them haven't. You know, that's the way it is when you get a new coach. And I think, like I said, the challenges are the same everywhere when you haven't won. And, you know, you got to teach them how to win. You got baby steps. You know, wins may not be wins. You might end up throwing more strikes than you did this last year, or you might beat somebody you hadn't beaten in a while, or play somebody close instead. You know, I've looked at their stuff in softball, and usually it's a three inning game, first round of the district. Maybe we want to go 7 this time, or maybe we want to make somebody feel uncomfortable for a little while. Because all it takes in softball is to get ahead of somebody and put some pressure on somebody that hasn't had pressure put on them by that team. And sometimes you choke.
Right, right. Well, I definitely don't think that it's going to be long before you have those young ladies winning. You come from a winning. I mean, you bring winning to every program that you've been to.
I appreciate that.
And you know, I just did a Facebook post yesterday, just thinking, and you know, I was talking about why some kids aren't successful, and I truly believe this with all that's in me. One of the reasons that I feel kids aren't successful is because a lot of parents live through their kids and they push their kids too much, and the kids lose interest in playing.
They do.
And then they've got, you know, Johnny will play, school starts in August, so Johnny will play Little League football. Straight out of Little League football, he goes to league basketball. Straight from league basketball, he goes to travel basketball. Travel basketball lasts until usually about July. But at the same time, he's also playing travel baseball. And then he's playing his Little League season.
Right.
And then it never stops.
It doesn't.
And I think that, you know, we're losing a lot of these athletes because the parents aren't letting them be kids. Well, you know, I just think that there has to be a break in there somewhere to where kids can actually be kids and they're not programmed to be athletes for 12 months.
True. And, you know, the Kentucky High School Athletic Association gives you that 2 weeks. But they can't stop you from playing travel ball, so they still play travel ball. And I know kids that play basketball year-round or softball year-round, but they also play other sports. And when you're at a school, and I've been at small schools pretty much my whole coaching career, and, you know, as long as your coach and the other coaches get along and understand, usually when they come from one sport to another, if I'm coaching that sport, I always gave my girls basketball players that played softball, they got a week off whether they wanted it or not.
Right.
They just, I wouldn't let, they'd come sit in the stands, but they weren't participating. But then you'd have the one that was, you know, really good, and I've had some really good pitchers, and we'd practice basketball, and right after that, Coach, could you stay 20 minutes? I need to pitch. And she'd go upstairs and she'd pitch for 20 minutes, and you can't stop that kid. That was just that kid. That had nothing to do with her father.
Right.
But, you know, at this time, it seems like, you know, I was looking, and you were talking about AAU and stuff like that, but at this time, how many state championships can you win as a 12-year-old? And
they get a ring every weekend.
What can I bring to the program and make that kid feel successful when the kid's already got 10 rings and they're flashing it on Facebook, you know? Or it was like, you know, when I was when I was at LaRue, our middle school basketball teams were pretty good, and they'd play in front of packed houses. And when I was trying to build the high school team, we didn't. So they already had their career, and then they came up to the high school, and it was like they were starting over again, which they were. But I mean, the excitement and the atmosphere at the middle school couldn't compare to the girls until like 4 or 5 years later when we got them up there and stuff like that. And that's hard for a kid to understand. And unless you give that kid some skill, and that kid gets better, and they see themselves getting better, it's kind of hard to compete with the AAU programs and stuff like that, because they could say, well, heck, we're not winning here. I'll just go over here with so-and-so. But they
travel every weekend.
And that's great. They need to be playing, but people need to understand at Caverna or LaRue or Metcalf, I can't pick kids. I can't take the best from every team. I got to work with what I got. So it's like, I remember Coach Faulkner used to say, we used to stand on the sidelines and talk quite a bit. And, one of the things he was, and I feel like I do the same thing in a lot of ways, you have to develop your talent, because you're not going to have somebody move in that's great. Every once in a while you might, or you might have that one that's ate up with it and she just becomes great.
Right.
But you not only have to develop good players, you have to develop good sporting casts. You have to develop people that understand the game. If you're not really good, then you need to understand the game. So if you start thinking the game, and this is in all sports, if you start thinking the game, then that's an advantage. When you know the game a little bit more than you used to, that's an advantage.
Well, Coach, again, we want to thank you for coming by. We'll be looking forward to following you throughout the softball season. And I'm sure when James gets back, he'll be calling you.
Okay.
He'll want to do some interviews. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring on Marty Young, who is the new head boys varsity baseball coach at Caverna.
Lockshield Partners Accounting Services provides professional and trusted expertise to our clients. Our team offers individual, business, and nonprofit tax preparation services, as well as payroll, bookkeeping, and consulting year-round. Call or visit our office today so our team can work for you while you and your loved ones focus on what really matters, because together we plan.
Extreme Fitness has doubled in size, now with over 8,000 square feet of co-ed weights and an upgraded 90-degree saline therapy pool. The Extreme Fitness campus also holds the exclusive Extreme Fitness for Women complex and Extreme Blend smoothie bar. You have to experience the variety of classes to realize the impact they have on their clients. Personal training is with the best in the business and is available and tailored to fit individuals. So start your journey today at Extreme Fitness and Health Club.
At Don Franklin, we're more than a group of car dealerships. We're hardworking, everyday people of Kentucky. We strive daily to give 110% to our customers, our employees, and our families. We are committed to providing everyone with a safe and reliable vehicle, and we continue our tradition of supporting our local communities. At all 24 dealerships across Kentucky, we will treat you like family. Don Franklin Family of Dealerships, we are Kentucky.
We're back, and I have Marty Young, actually a Greene County alumni.
Yes, sir.
Grew up in Greene County, played all your career at Greene County. Mm-hmm. You've actually coached the youth league and some of the upper ages.
I coached the youth league for about 20 years, and I've just recently come off of coaching 16 through 19 travel ball.
How did you guys do your last year coaching the travel ball team?
We did pretty good. I mean, it's just travel ball is just pretty much getting everybody out there to play some ball and getting them in front of the scouts and stuff like that so they can talk to them. We finished pretty good, decent. About 6 kids got picked and got scholarships, so I was really pleased with that.
Okay. Well, of course, you're coming to Caverna from Greene County. Greene County is a traditionally pretty stout baseball program, has been for a long time. Now, on the other hand, Caverna has also had a lot of success in the past. In the late 90s, mid-2000s, put out some really good baseball players. How do you think you're going to fit in with these kids at Caverna?
One thing that I want to bring to the table here is they haven't won many ball games. I just want to get them to come out and try to teach them more about the game to have success. You have to bring everybody up at one time. I think there was like maybe 5 or 6 kids that I seen that has never played baseball before except for these last couple of years. So that's what they have under their belt. So I'm going to have to do a lot of teaching, a lot of coaching here to get them up on a par here.
Okay. Now they do have middle school baseball now. Which middle school baseball, I think this is their first year, and they actually won a few games this year. But one of the big challenges that Caverna has had in the past is the youth programs, whether it be football, baseball, or basketball. How do you plan on bringing your knowledge to the Caverna school system, and not only the Caverna school system, but the Caverna Youth League? How involved do you plan to be in the Youth League?
I plan to be there majority of the time of it anyways. I wanted to be stronger with the youth because it's got to start out at the youth. It's very hard to stay competitive coming in your first years. It's been high school. I think Caverna's middle school just came about 2 years now. It's maybe their second year, if not the first year. Mm-hmm. So you've got to have something in between there. And youth, I'm very adamant about the youth and playing it. I'm going to plan on being there, if not start it and get it built up to where it needs to be.
And Caverna's not been a contender for the district for maybe the last 12, 13 years. What are some goals that you're going to set for yourself as a coach when it comes to things like that?
I want to just at least try, as in push myself. I want 10 games this year. I want to win 10 games. I know it doesn't sound a lot to anybody, but coming from where Caverna's been, I want to at least do that, and I want to get them their first win of a district game during the season, and then we'll worry about that. The rest will come later. We just got to focus on getting better and staying with the fundamentals, going back to the fundamentals, just teaching fundamentals and getting them where they need to be to do that.
Now, I know you have hired, I think, Eric Wyckoff is going to be one of your assistants. You're like me, Marty. You start to get old and you got a little bigger. So we can't get out there and really show them a lot. How important do you think it is to have these young guys on your staff to where they can actually go out and physically show them the mechanics of pitching, show them the proper way to catch a fly ball, and show them, the proper hip thrust when you're batting?
Well, I still plan on doing some of that too also. I still, believe it or not, just because I'm just still big, I still get out there and do it. I mean, I've raised a son to do it, and he played his first year over at Midway, and he worked and came all the way through the segment with me, and we did pretty good. And I still show how to hold a bat, field a ground ball, catch a fly ball. It's fundamentals. It's stuff that you'll never forget if you stay with fundamentals. So it's always there.
Well, a little off baseball, Marty, we played a lot of softball against each other.
Oh, yeah.
So if somebody called you tonight and asked you to go play in the Southern this summer, do you think you still got it to go play that?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. I just
Absolutely not. We're going to clear that up real quick.
Don't
give any phone calls here. I'm not playing.
So you don't think you can do one of those? Where do we used to play the big round robins at? Was it in Somerset, but it was close to Somerset?
Yeah, you had quite a few. You played quite a few of them over here in Glasgow also, right down here at this park. I can't remember the name of it.
Weldon.
Yeah, there's a park over there that we played in. We come over and travel and played. And there's hellacious games. I enjoyed it. I mean, right now, I can get out there and I can catch with the best of them, but I'm going to fight you for catching. And I'm going to fight you for that pinch runner also.
Well, that's me too. Well, Marty, just wanted to bring you on and kind of introduce you to the area as the coach. I know they're going to do some things at the school to have a media day for all the new coaches so that everybody gets to know you. But we just wanted to bring you on and give you an opportunity to talk about your opportunities that you have.
Wonderful.
And look forward to some of the goals that you're having. And as the season gets closer, James Brown is the baseball guy, so he'll bring you back on. But congratulations and
thank you.
As a fellow coach, welcome to Caverna, and we wish you nothing but success.
Hey, I thank you and I appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity and thank you guys for having me out.
All right.
At Don Franklin, we're more than a group of car dealerships. We're hardworking, everyday people of Kentucky. We strive daily to give 110% to our customers, our employees, and our families. We are committed to providing everyone with a safe and reliable vehicle, and we continue our tradition of supporting our local communities. At all 24 dealerships across Kentucky, we will treat you like family. Don Franklin Family of Dealerships, we are Kentucky.
Extreme Fitness has doubled in size, now with over 8,000 square feet of co-ed weights and an upgraded 90-degree sailing therapy pool. The Extreme Fitness campus also holds the exclusive Extreme Fitness for Women complex and Extreme Blend smoothie bar. You have to experience the variety of classes to realize the impact they have on their clients. Personal training is with the best in the business and is available and tailored to fit individuals. So start your journey today at Extreme Fitness and Health Club.
Lockshield Partners Accounting Services provides professional and trusted expertise to our clients. Our team offers individual, business, and nonprofit tax preparation services, as well as payroll, bookkeeping, and consulting year-round. Call or visit our office today so our team can work for you while you and your loved ones focus on what really matters, because together we plan.
Welcome back. Again, we have another Caverna coach, Mielle Distefano,
Yes.
who's also our school counselor.
Very good school counselor.
You're good at it?
I'm very good.
Okay,
No,
I
I'm
just
not.
wanted to make sure.
No, I'm not. I'm decent.
You're great at it.
All right.
All the kids like you. All the kids respect you. I know you did a lot of things this year that needed to be done, and the kids have been very receptive of
They
that.
have been great.
And I want to thank you for what you did for our kid.
Well, you're welcome.
I don't know if it's going to do any good or not.
He's great.
Yeah,
He's
he's
just
going
a
to
fine
Chicago.
example of Caverna students that I just fell in love with quickly.
Well, good. Volleyball coach.
Volleyball coach is right.
Are you excited?
Pretty excited, yeah. Had 2 workouts. We need to get more players, but I told them at our last practice that, you know, I've been a coach at 2 different schools. This is the 3rd, and this was the best first day that I've had at all 3 schools.
Now, I'm going to
Just
tell you
to-
something about your first day.
Okay,
Now, I was actually mowing the football field,
okay.
and you had 2 of your players that came because one of them has a brother that plays football. And her mom was standing out. We were talking, and she asked her how was practice. And she said, I did stuff I've never done before in my life. But she was excited about that.
Good, that's what I wanted.
And I think that you are going to get a lot of good things out of these kids because of the personality that you're bringing as the coach.
Yeah, I've never played in my life. I actually hated the game.
No, you was a ball hog in basketball.
I was a ball hog in basketball. We all know that. That's, you know, why my arms hurt and shoulders hurt and I droop like this. But volleyball I did not have tenure at LaRue County.
Okay.
And I just got to the high school. I wanted to teach at the high school. And the late grade, if anybody knew Gary Gibson, he was a principal. And one day he called me and he said, I need you in my office. And he had this deep, very deep, threatening kind of voice. And he said, Mielle, you don't have tenure. And I said, yes, sir, I know. And he said, so you have to do what I want you to do. And I was scared. I loved him. I loved the man, greatest principal I ever had. And he said, I need you to take a job. I don't care if you win or lose. It's $3,000. And I need you to babysit 15 girls. And I said, okay, what is it? He said, our volleyball coach just left, and I need you to coach. And he gave me a volleyball book for dummies. And he said, you have to do this. I said, well, okay, I'll do it for you. And he said, well, you don't have a choice. I said, great, when's practice? He said, let me walk you to the gym.
So you practiced
I
as soon
had no
as you...
clue. Yeah. And we lost the first match in 15 minutes. Girl from Nelson served 15 in a row. We came back, hit it in the net. She served again 15 in a row, and I was on the bus back home in no time. And I was like, I can't do this. I got to go find some kids. So I recruited from softball and basketball and started getting pretty good at LaRue, and competed several times for getting to the region semifinals and 2 points away from the region finals once.
So how many years did you coach at LaRue?
Maybe 6. I'm not real sure. I don't like personal stats and things like that. It doesn't do really much for me. So maybe 6 years. I'm not sure. It could have been 5.
So do you still have the Volleyball for Dummies book?
No, I wish
So
I
you
would have
graduated
kept it.
from
I
that?
graduated from that. I probably look at it. I would look at it if I needed to, because I'm always said, and I told it to the girls the other day, don't ask me how to hit. Don't ask me how to set. I am going to motivate you like you've never seen. I'll do whatever it takes to make you believe in yourself. But we'll learn. I'll bring in kids. I mean, I've got former players already asking, Coach, when's the next practice? I'm ready to go. And I trust them more than I trust myself with that.
Now, is LaRue the only school that you've coached volleyball at?
No, I did coach. I took over at Metcalf. I might have been Metcalf's coach 3 times. I'm not sure. Me and the head coach there now, she had a baby. Then, I took over. Then I went down, and then she came up. So it was 2 or 3 times. And we had Clinton and Russell in our district. And when you play club ball and you've got kids that don't play club ball, you can't compete. But I made them believe that they could. And at the end, we were dangerous. We didn't win, but we pushed whoever. They knew that when they got done, they played Metcalf, and it was a tough one. And that's all I want from Caverna, is to get that stigma, and know when you walk in the gym, you've played Caverna, and it was a test, and it was a good one.
So unlike the other 2 coaches that we've had on, you've actually been at Caverna for a few months now.
Yeah, since November 1st.
And you've seen a lot of changes for the better. Our superintendent is actually buying into sports. I don't feel like, as a Caverna alumni, I don't feel like that. I'm not going to say Cornelius, because of course Cornelius bought into sports, but some of the former principals that we had, sports was not a priority. And as a school counselor, I want to see what your view is on this. But to me, I feel like when sports teams are good at your school, whether it be football, basketball, whatever, if you have good sport programs, it kind of makes the environment at school better.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And, that's one of the challenges that I have is as the football coach, because it's the first sport that starts, and volleyball. So we're going to have to kind of set the tone.
Yeah, I thought about that.
For everything. But I think that, we've got the new video board in the gym. We've got a new gym floor. They did a lot of work to the baseball field, and we're currently doing a lot of work to the football field. And I feel like if your facilities aren't up to par, then the kids aren't going to be really where you need them to be.
I mean, I invested a lot of money personally and with our booster club at Metcalf's locker room. It's one of the best locker rooms you'll ever go in anywhere. And that pride was just like, oh my God, it was better than the basketball teams, because Metcalf's all basketball and their football team's really good. But they took ownership of that locker room. And even during basketball season, when other teams used it as the visiting locker room, the players went in and checked on it. And it was like, you better not touch we locked it all up. And that's one of the goals I already talked to the kids about. We're going in Caverna's locker room, and we're gonna create something with this. And with Miss Abel, she's on board. And I wish, and I tell her almost every day, I wish her kids played for us. Her daughter's an amazing athlete. And she's starting up, I know Miss Abel's talked to me today about a Lead 'em Up program for athletes to be more leaders in the community, which I think we already have a lot of those. And, Mr. B, our principal, he loves sports. I mean, and just like you were saying, when the middle school baseball team won that first game, there was a party in the hallway. And kids were proud, and everybody was congratulating them. So, yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of pressure on us there. I mean, you know, you got to win some football games, and I got to win. I'm in that new gym, which is absolutely beautiful. People are not going to recognize Caverna when they step in that gym. So I better do something.
Well, I'm going to do my part. We're going to do our part.
We're going to do our part.
Okay,
and then
so we'll
leave
put
it
the
up to
pressure on
Barker and
basketball.
whoever.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do.
And you're in a habit like I am. It's Miss Summers.
Miss Summers, that's
I
right.
call her Miss Abel. She still answers to Miss Abel
I know,
because
Miss
that's what everybody
Summers.
knows her. But I told her I feel bad for disrespecting your husband by not calling
That's
you Miss
true, and
Miss
he's a good
Summers.
guy.
He is a good guy, and he actually does a lot of things to help the kids at Caverna.
He does.
Well, good luck to you this year. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
by. Maybe we'll get you a meal when you come back to work.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Some fish or something.
Always.
Okay.
Always.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, KY Sports TV, 104 The Score, Glasgow Electric Plant Board Channel 6, the local channel. Good seeing you, and we'll see you again next week.